So I was doing my taxes, but then I needed information from my wife who wasn't home, so I decided to go out and cut the turf. So I lined a piece of turf along the side here where I usually park my excess tractors. Damn, makes it look so nice compared to my regular lawn, you know what I mean? Got it contoured around the AC unit there. Lined up along the wall there. The most important one was my little tent that I made for my John Deere and my Scotts. They're just sitting there. But this entire area now has artificial turf. It's like soft, plush. I could sleep on it. It's awesome. I had it stretched out all the way to not quite the whole length, about there. It's awesome. I love it. Of course, I took the scraps and I made a little jigsaw puzzle underneath the trampoline. That looks a little better than before. I mean, wild grass is growing, you know. So I used everything, man. Stoked. Hey, look, if I had money to burn, I'd put artificial turf on my entire lawn, you know. But then again, I'm in the lawnmower business, right? Can't mow artificial turf. Anywho, that was a full day for sure. Hey guys, how you doing? It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers again. Well, finally got my taxes taken care of. What a pain in the yum-yum that was. It always is, every year. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I dread it every year. But got it done, it's a relief, you know. Anyway, so today, I'm going to repower this free Craftsman Lt1500 1500 with a, I mean, this is what I'm thinking. It's showing all the telltale signs of a blown connecting rod. Can't turn it. So basically, I'm going to remove the 4 engine bolts on the bottom of that, take off the engine, and replace it with the almost identical engine that I got from Scott Keller in the Jacobson Imperial 26 snowblower trade. I'm going to remove that gas tank. And I believe I'm going to replace the throttle assembly here because this thing here is bent and kind of rusted around here, and see how loose these contacts are. And it looks, this throttle plate looks identical to the one on this engine that is in good condition. And I know it's in good condition because it slides freely. Know what I mean? So that's what I'm going to do. I have to disconnect that throttle cable anyway. Here on the other side, I've studied the wiring harness, and it's easy peasy. I'll tell you why. So, the 2 wires here are from the stator. Red one going to a diode is where it goes into the battery to recharge the battery. The diode is in place so that no current goes back into the stator and fries it. The black wire is connected to the lights. I know it doesn't look like it heads to the lights, but it goes in here, into there, and comes back out over here. Or on that side. Okay. The other part of the wiring harness, you have a black and gray wire. The black one, I'm thinking, goes to the magneto, and the gray one goes to the fuel solenoid, fuel shutoff switch underneath the carburetor. Disconnect the power wire, 12 volts, to the starter. This goes to the other part of the solenoid, so that once you turn the key, it clicks, makes the connection from the battery, live battery, straight to this wire, and it starts the engine. So I'm just gonna disconnect this, right? Tough to do with one hand, especially lefty. You get the picture. Disconnect that. Disconnect this. Then on the other side, there you go. The black is ground, right? That's grounded straight to the engine block, right? And this is the solenoid power wire. So you can tell that because it's black, it's grounded, right? So that black goes straight to the magneto because the switch works on the same circuit. You turn the power on, it allows for the magneto to work. Turn the power off, it shuts off the solenoid as well as grounds the magneto and shuts the engine off. I don't know if this is the same exact carburetor. Maybe this carburetor is in better shape than Scott Keller's carburetor, because Scott Keller didn't ever test this engine because it came off of a lawn riding mower that he just got, and he doesn't know if it ran or not. So that carburetor could be really dirty and filthy because it hasn't been run. However, I know that this engine was run the same day I got it, right? And the only reason why he stopped using it was because of the blown connecting rod. So I might use this carburetor, but then again, this carburetor has a solenoid, which I don't want. This one doesn't, which I do want. I don't know, one step at a time, right? So I'll disconnect all the stuff on that side, disconnect the throttle, disconnect the fuel line, and since this thing has a lot of fuel in it, it's like more than half. Looks like good fuel too. Might have to pinch this off. Well, guess what? I got some new fuel pinchers. Might as well take the opportunity to show you these pinchers. I mean, I call them pinchers, but they're the 3-piece hose clamp set. These are usually like $15 everywhere, you know, Amazon, eBay, whatever. But this dude had them for $8.50 on an auction bid, and he was local USA too. I mean, he probably bought bulk from China and selling them in the USA to charge a little bit more money than the Chinese do. That's a good way to make money, by the way, guys. You know, you could buy like 100 of those cheap Chinese carburetors that you usually have to wait like a month for, you know. But what people do is Americans buy them like, well, they'll work out a deal with them. It's like, oh, well, you sell it for like $9, but how much do you get them for? Oh, you get them for $5? Well, how about this? I'll give you $6 for it, so the guy in China makes $1 off of each, right? He doesn't have to spend shipping on each and every time. He just sends a whole bulk of 100, you know what I mean? So then the guy in the U.S. makes it, gets it for $6, right? Sells it for $10, because I'll pay $1 extra to get them in 4 days as opposed to 30 days, right? So that's a really good way to make money, but I mean, it's quantity, of course. You know, you won't make a lot of money, you know, but if you sell, you know, 100 and make $4 each, minus PayPal and eBay fees, you know, making like $2.50 each carburetor. But hey, you know, you make $2.50, you know, per carburetor. You sell 10 a day, right? You sell them every day. You buy thousands of them. And that's just one type of carburetor. Let's say you buy like 4 or 5 different types of carburetors and you sell 100 of them. You know what I'm saying? Every month or so. You know, that's what these guys do. That's why you see on the eBay where they have so many, the guys have like hundreds and thousands of feedbacks. You know what I'm saying? That's because they have a huge factory and or warehouse, and they sell these things all day, you know? Like these. But this is a good deal for me. $8.50, I'll pay $8.50 for this. And actually, I've never used this before, but I see Terrell and Donnie Boy use them pretty often. I'm not sure about it. I mean, these look like they're pretty sharp. Won't they just cut it, you know? Anyway, since it's gravity fed, I'll use this. I'll just pinch it over here. This doesn't seem as easy to use as her vice grips. You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean. Well, jury's not out yet on this, but we'll see. I'm going to get to work on disconnecting all that stuff. Just disconnected the fuel line, and it works. See? Stuff fuel. Almost full tank there. Remove the bolt from the throttle cable. If I could find the right damn bit. Seems like the right bit. Oh man. Of course it doesn't really work well because this brake is in the way. So I gotta find a Torx bit. God, that's really on there, man. So you just loosen it, you don't take them off. Give it some slack. Pull it out. Pull it out. Pull it out. And it's a Z-bend. So there you got that connection right there. I'm going to go on the other side. And look, we can just pull this out too. It's the fuel solenoid wire. I'm going to go on the other side and take off that other stuff. Just loosen this little nut here. You're a nut. We'll put the bolt back, the nut back onto the post so I don't lose it. So this just flows freely. I forget if this has a battery. You know, it does have a battery. So you have to be careful where this one goes, you know what I'm saying? You can't touch metal, otherwise you have a problem. Like that. Oh, you know why? This is no power to it because the solenoid is off. Your key switch is off. There's no power going to it unless it energizes the solenoid. So no worries. And disconnect this wire here. Not the entire. Oh, I guess I do have to do the entire thing. There you go. Really easy. I'd probably use this wiring harness again because it's merely attached to the fuel solenoid and the magneto right here. See? So, oh crap, but that means I have to take the shroud off just to get that wire. I'm gonna have to do that anyway. So, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the other side. Bolts. This is always a pain, you know? I have to get the... Maybe I'll have to use my new Tite-reach extension wrenches. So here I've got my Tite-reach extension wrench. You guys saw that episode where they sent me a couple to try, and I did a few videos on Tite-reach. These are perfect for getting engine bolts off when they're hard to reach, you know. You don't have to climb underneath and do it, or knuckle busting, which I've had a lot of knuckle busting, you know what I mean. So this is a 9/16 socket, and just looking at it, yeah, that ought to do. Just hope there's nothing holding it. Sorry, in the way of the bolt, you know, like drag links and all that stuff. You just find it, pop right in there. Let's see if it turns. There we go. Check that out. Awesome. See how that is? The fastest bolt removal from an engine ever with no problems. Watch, your bolt breaks right now. Is that a do it? Holy cow, how easy. Boom! How easy was that, huh? I'm going to do the others. I'm going to do this one now. I'm not even going to feel around. How about that? I can sort of see it through the holes. Oh. Yeah! So I didn't know about these things until I saw them on Instagram. They had an ad. I said, "Ooh, that's cool. Let me email these dudes and tell them I have a channel or whatever, and maybe they'll send me some so I can plug it, you know, for them." Works out for me because I get some free sponsored tools. And look, if tools work, I'm happy to tell people about it, you know. look, I didn't know about it, right? So if I saw a YouTube video on a dude using them and how well they work, I'd go buy them. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point of sponsorships, you know, is that they send me the free tool, right? I use it, but you know, they take a risk too. Because let's say the product sucked, right? If the product sucked, I'd say it sucked. Then if you had any hopes of selling any more of these things, they're all down the drain because nobody's going to buy them because I've used them and they sucked, right? This one works, guys. Go check them out at Tite-reach.com. Good tools. I just removed those 2 bolts on camera with much ado about nothing. You know what I'm saying? It was easy peasy. I'm going to get on the other side and do the other 2. Freaking 10-minute engine bolt removal. Unprecedented, man. So I got all 4 bolts off. I'm going to try and get this, that's hardly even on there. The belt off of the bottom mower deck pulley. It's tough to do because you got these guides on here that keep it on there. It serves its purpose, you know. I did it the wrong way. It should be on the bottom. The bottom. Oh, whatever. See if I can get it out. You know what? I really should remove the hood. Hood will make it easier. Just tilt it a little bit and lift. Easy for you to say, Henry. There we go. Where's that wire? What? You can't disconnect this wire? What the hell? Who the hell designed this? I'm supposed to have a tab here to disconnect it. What am I do? Cut this thing? Or I guess I could just remove the wire. Come on, get off. No, or the whole thing. Alright, so hood's off. Should be easier. Now this muffin over here, the muffler, it should be just like sitting in there, you know, but this one doesn't look like that. This one looks like I have to take the whole muffin off, you know what I'm saying? It's welded into the muffler. You could slide it out like that. But the belt's on there, it makes it tough. Yeah, it's caught. I don't want to break your back doing that. I don't even know if the pulley's gonna, you know, come off of that too. You know what? I'm gonna take the pulley off, and I'm not worried about the engine spinning on its own because remember, it's seized. Engine shouldn't turn at all, so I'll take the double stack pulley off. And of course, it's a different size bolt. It's a 5/8, but guess what? With this 3/8 Tite-reach extension, I've got the 1/2 inch one, got the 3/8 one, and I've got an impact one adapter in here. Know what I mean? There it is. The adapter. You could fit all kinds of sizes. They have kits where you can buy too, where you can get all the attachments, you know. But that's extra. They didn't give me those. They just wanted me to try this. Who knows if they'll get me any more stuff to try. They said something about that, you know. It's not going to fit because the damn keepers are in the way. I'll have to work on it. Lickety split with the Tite wrench extension. It's a 5/8. Typical. I had to drop the front part of that mower deck because the bar was in the way of this, you know. Anyway, so let's see if this double stack pulley's moving. But it's still not coming off. Let's make it come off. See? Oh, this damn muffler is stuck to it. My back. Alice, my back went out again. You guys are too young to know what the hell I'm talking about, huh? Alice, my back. I threw my back out. I can't go bowling with the raccoons anymore. Put in the comments if you guys know what the hell I'm talking about. So, as you can see, it's very yucky. So what am I going to do now? Come on. Clean your... Gonna put another engine on here. You got the engine off. Got an open space here like that. Just do this. I know who doesn't do this. It's my buddy Pete Lombardi. That's right. He appreciates any shout outs on my videos as possible, even negative ones. You don't take the time to clean your sheet. You're here. Just do this. What's the big deal? Look at all this crap in here. I have my right mind to blow this out. I do. Will I? You know what the hell? I will. I'm gonna blow that out. Right? I mean, why not? Just do it. It won't take too long. That's why we all have power equipment, man, so we can just easily do stuff. I tell you, these Echoes never gives me a problem. They always run well. I'm not even going to warm it up. You make a little bit of mess in your garage, but that's okay. You know why? Because when you're blowing here, there's a wall, right? So it blows back out into my face. So do you breathe when you're doing this? Of course not. Of course you don't breathe. And much cleaner than before, you know what I mean? So that's all it takes, man. Just do that. It'll take 1 minute. Just do it. Make your life easier. You know what I mean? So, you know what I got to do before I put an engine on here? I got to take this gas tank off, right? I got to take this off. I got to take the carburetor off. And I got to take the throttle plate off and put it on, and take that stuff and put it on here. Guess I could do that when I put the engine on, right? I should do that. No, I'm going to take the gas tank off. I will be honest with you. I won't be honest, I'll be honest. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I've never seen a gas tank on this engine before. You know, mounted right on here. It's kind of unusual. There's two 9/16 bolts. And on there really well. Really well. For a gas tank that's plastic? It's crazy talk, dude. Yeah. Just had to break it. Love the impact. 2 seconds. Boom! So this gas tank, see? Triangular shape so that it fits perfectly there. It's pretty cool. It's got a fuel line on it attached to a fuel filter that's the kind for a fuel pump. This ought to come in handy someday when I I'm converting a rear gas tank fed with fuel pump to the power plant. When I convert that into a gravity fed type, that'll come in handy. Because that can go in like a corner somewhere or strap onto an engine, you know what I mean? You know, I know I'm gonna not remember where this goes and that goes. This is Dunsky. Yuck. Look at that. Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to use this carburetor because the unknown of that carburetor, you know? This is easy to remove the carburetor, but I think I'm gonna just take off these two bolts here for the, what am I trying to say here? Intake manifold, you know what I mean? I'm gonna whip that out, and that is a 3/8. I want to take this assembly off because this thing, I think if I just take that off, it'll be fine. Butter. Butter.
Nobody lay a finger on my butterfinger.
My dog is barking like there's no owner present. Breather hose is stuck. There we go. Linkage. Twist and bend. Okay, first I'm going to twist this one. That's off. Then twist this. Remember there's a little tiny one here. Don't bend it and break it. Because if you break it, that's a 1/4 inch of length that's off. There we go. Carburetor. See white substance in there, which is water. Look at that. Look, this is a Nicky. Doesn't even have a jet nut here or solenoid thing. That's interesting. Maybe it's clean. What the hell? Let's open that up and see. Just curious. Let's see what the condition of this is. It's just 2 screws, right? It's a flathead. You're a flathead. Ah! Watch me lose these bolts. I'm just dropping them on the floor. I have a magnetic ashtray, but guess what? I can't find it because I think it might be magnetized, stuck somewhere. I don't know where it is. Ah! Alright, here we go. Yep. Look at that. Earl. Or varnish. But it's... oh, it's not bad. I thought it was like, you know, super hard. You know what? I bet you this carburetor is good. Maybe I'll put it back on. But I just took it off. I don't know, maybe this carburetor is good. Because I really don't want that fuel solenoid on there, you know? Alright, I'll think about it. I don't know. Take that throttle plate off because it's definitely... it didn't even move. Yeah, I'm not going to use that one. So I'm going to find the bolts for that, remove that throttle plate, and put the other one on. Alright. Of course there's another one that's in a hard to reach area. Haha! Crap. a little spring here that's attached to the governor. Spring attached to the governor. Ah! There we go. That's it. Don't lose this spring. It's just hooked on here. I mean, I suppose I could just bend it back into shape and it'll work. But should I use the other one? You know what? This thing is all loose over here. Probably make poor contact. It's just a ground. Then you got these wires just hanging like that. It's better to use the other one, right? Yeah. Put my spare parts over there. Just got to remember how this all went. You know what I mean? While you're here, clean your shit. Uh-oh. Son of a gun. This is the choke. How did that go again? Man. See what I mean, fellas? When you take things apart, if you don't have any experience doing this, I luckily have done this before a few times. It's supposed to work like that. See what I'm saying? This thing just sits there like that, you know? It's loose. And when you engage the choke, you push or pull, and that thing pushes the choke open. So it's supposed to be like that. I'll figure it out. Wait, why am I cleaning this again? I'm not using this, right? Oh, I am using this, right. I'm using this. Honestly. I'm going to take the parts off of the old one. Alright, that's the old one. I'm going to do exactly what I did before. I'm going to. This seems like it's more difficult than the other one. You know what? It'll loosen up when I take the throttle plate off. Is holding this on here. Could it be this? It's not even turning. This thing is seized on there, man. The bolt. So I highly doubt this dude maintained this mower much at all. I can't even tell if this is loosening up, you know. I have to try to get that off, guys. This mother just won't come off. So I'm gonna have to do it the hard way. They're forcing me to take this part of the carburetor off. Damn it. Should we see which carburetor is better? Scott Keller's or the guy's original? I'm banking on this one. Oh, damn it. Watch me strip this, because it's flathead. Ha ha! I've been saying it, guys. Gotta get an impact. Even the half-quarter-inch ones, I'm telling you. Save you tendonitis in your elbow. Alright, so here we go. This is the original carburetor. Yep, it's got fresh fuel in it. Whoa, that's clean. Really clean. So you know what? I'm just going to take that bowl and put it on this one, because this one has a solenoid on it, and I don't want a solenoid. I don't want to. Let's see if this fits. Wait, let me compare it first. Identical. This one just doesn't have a hole for the solenoid. See? Are you guys with me on this? I don't like the solenoid because you hear so many stories about the solenoid busting and your thing doesn't start. Do you need any more problems? Just throttle low when you shut it off and you won't hear the damn backfire. And so if you hear a backfire, so what? It goes boom. I like boom. Just sprayed some carb cleaner inside this bowl. Get one of your old toothbrushes that you're throwing out, but just don't throw them out, because one day you can clean a carburetor bowl with it. Right? Just making some soup here. Ding! Cleanage. That's clean. I'm not going to mess with this. Maybe I'll mess with a little. Yep, clear. Mess with a little. Joints. No, I'm not going to do that. Carburetor cleaner messes with the seat. There's no other screws in here to clean, so it makes it easy. I guess this fuel mixture screw could be taken off, but this thing was running, so I'm not going to mess with a good thing. Sometimes you take something out, you break it. You break it! So this carburetor should be good to go. Now without a solenoid. I'd like to hear your comments about what you feel about fuel solenoids, guys. I hate them. Take them off or modify them to not have one. In other case, you can use that wire that's for the fuel solenoid coming from the wiring harness. You can connect some exterior lights, because that's a switched power. Switched 12 volt. Turn the key on, it's on. Turn the key off, it's off. Power. So you can put those LED lights on your hood or something, or reverse lights or something like that. You can use that gray wire. It's the gray wire. Alright, so this carburetor is good to go. I'm going to spray a little bit and clean it off a bit. Okay, just remove this. Put it over here. Here's my new cleaned carburetor off the old. This is the old carburetor that I don't want, but I'm going to need this. So I'm going to remove this part, because this fits on that one. This is the good carburetor I'm going to use. Gaskets. Yeah. Choke, fuel mixture, adjustment screw, throttle. The thing went in here. Alright. Remember that damn spring? Not the spring, the damn spring. Do I have this upside down? I have it upside down. I wonder if the screen doesn't fit well. Turn this around. Yep, I have to turn the spring around. It's too much tension. Can't just turn it 180 degrees like that. Actually, that was right. Duh. Alright, so that's on there. See, the bolts! The bolts! Is that it? I don't think that's it. Oh, what is it? I'll save you the agony. Alright, so I've run into a little snag. So I've gotten all the linkages together and all that, and breather hose, and I was just ready to put on the manifold. But look! What's wrong? That original manifold is much longer than the Scott Keller one. So I've got to replace this with that. Pain in my ass. Take all this shit apart again. So I took that off, and this just needs to, the studs just need to come out of here. It's not that much of a pain, but I mean, look, it's a pain, of course, because you plan on doing something and it doesn't go right, you got to spend extra time and do this, you know. But it must be done. See? I know, I'm not using the right wrench. Don't worry, I'm not going to strip it. Maybe. Just got to loosen it. That's all. It's not the space shuttle. It's just a carburetor. Look, that was loose already, see? Honestly. People don't maintain their shit. Gotta maintain your shit, guys. I'm going to wipe that down, because you don't want this stuff going into your intake, you know. Ends up in your engine. You know, all that crap. It's a little bit of water. Water and spitz. Spitz. Right, so that goes like this. Gaskets there. Line it up with the studs. Oh, it better fit. Doesn't fit, I'm going to throw this stuff off the George Washington Bridge. Hey, Scott, you love the George Washington Bridge, don't you? Yeah, I know you're cursing. But I don't really mind the George Washington Bridge. It's the Cross Bronx Expressway. You guys ever come and visit me out in New York, avoid the Cross Bronx Expressway. Your blood pressure will rise, guaranteed, by 20 points. You'll have 150 or 140 over 90. Trust me. You got to go on medication after you go on that highway. All right. Okay. 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 Stick this mother back in here. Put the two nuts back on. You're a nut. You know what this is, guys? This is surgery. Small engine surgery. Good. Maybe I shouldn't have done... Yeah, okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's good. Alright. Alright, that's good. What are those damn things? Was that it? I don't think that was it. Was that it? That might have been it. Well, it fits. Hey, if the shoe fits. You guys notice I'm not cutting the video much. I'm showing you everything I'm doing because I had a couple of subscribers who say, you know, sometimes you cut out the good shit. I want to know how you put it on. Don't cut it, you know? I'd say, okay, but then my video is going to be like 2 hours long. I cut it to save you the agony of what I'm going through. Well, Henry, we want to see how you did it. All right. Okay, fine. You want to see it? It's a 2-hour video. All right. What do you guys think? Yeah, choke, right? Pops back to governor. Uh-oh. Oh, do I see it? Yes, it's moving down here. You guys can't see it. Throttle's moving nicely. Choke. Cool. Yeah, this is much smoother than the other one, you know what I mean? Scott Keller's was all bent out of shape and stuff. So, I don't know, that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. What is this for? What is that? What is this for? Doesn't have it on the other engine. Oh well. Just leave it alone. Alright, well, I guess I'm going to put this on. Maybe. So you don't want anything to get into here because it's going upward. Anything that drops in there will go right into your carburetor and completely screw it up. So this is the air filter that came off of the Scott Keller engine. It's not good, but it's not terrible either. Because if you hold it up to the light, you can see through it, which means it's not clogged too bad. I'll replace this when I get a chance, but for the installation startup, just put it on. Spider guts. Alright, that just covers it up until you know, you can straighten it out. So we changed the carburetor and the intake manifold, right? Got a new throttle plate linkage over there, and I guess all we have to do now is put it on. The holes don't match. Yeah, they do. They match up. Just kidding. And this has compression. Good compression. Might have some Earl in the piston area. Like a hydraulic. I expect a lot of smoke. Pretty much a direct replacement, guys. Carburetor, fuel line on, throttle cable. It's got its own muffler there, so we don't have to worry about that muffler. This, I'm thinking, is the magneto. Didn't have a solenoid, right? So this has to be the magneto. This black one here is for the lights. This red one here goes into the stator. It goes right here onto the starter. So wait a minute, now I can't use that cable, you know, the wiring harness. Unless I splice it. Do I want to use that? You want to keep it as stock as possible, right? So yeah, I'm going to use that. I'm going to go cut the wire off of that, the harness. Just cut the harness off. Remember, this black wire here goes to the magneto. And this thing will just clip on, hopefully, and go to the right place. Alright, so just make sure it goes in there. Only go one way. Here, this lights. So red is this, the orange is that. That in there. I'm gonna find some connectors for this. You know what? I'm going to put the engine bolts back on. You guys saw me take them out. You don't need to see me put them back on. Save you some time. So my battery died, and I, got to keep working, right? So I made all the connections. Starter's connected. Stator, lights. The solenoid wire is just hanging. Magneto wire is connected. Throttle is connected, throttle cable is connected. Where's it? And I Earled it too, so it's nice and smooth. Full throttle, low throttle, full throttle, choke. Choke. Fuel line is connected, and below here reattach the front arm link to the mower deck. and also pulley is attached along with the guides. So I just checked the Earl. It's like death. But if it's a bad engine, I'm not going to change the oil, right? So it'll be good just for startup. That's black as death. You know what I mean? Definitely needs an oil change. But it's full, and it'll be enough just to see if it starts. Got gassage. Check the Earl. Don't know if we have spark or nothing, but, you know. You know what, man? I'm just going to give it a try. Alright, here we go. Just going to do it. Just going to start it. We'll see. Keep your fingers crossed. This is always, you know, that point in time where you're just like, oh man, is it going to work? I don't know. Choke. Oh, brake is on. Here we go. Solenoid's clicking, but I'm going to get the multimeter out and test and see if any current is going to the starter. Okay, so I know why it doesn't start. Because there's only 11.11 volts. You need a minimum of 12.4 to start this engine. So I'm going to put a jumper on it, and then we're going to see it start. Hopefully. So I've got a battery on engine start mode. And let's crank it and see. Not only is the starter not even moving, I better go multimeter the starter. When I put the multimeter on the starter and I turn the key, it does show a spike of electricity that goes there, but then it goes down again because the charger, the battery charger, it pops. So I think the battery is so bad that it needs to charge a little bit more. When I just put it's been, you know, charging, I just put the multimeter on the battery, it still only shows 12, you know what I mean? So it needs 12.4, I'm going to give it a little while and charge that battery up. But the starter doesn't move at all. I'm going to get a jumper and see if the starter works. So I put a battery charger, not a battery charger, a jumper to the starter directly, you know, and it just sparked. Didn't move at all. I think the starter is Dunsky. Shoot. Well, now I'm going to have to take the starter off of that one. So when I was trying to take the bolts off the shrouds, I touched this onto the bolt, and it started smoking over here. So once it started smoking, I pulled this harness off, right? I have a feeling that something's shorted on that stator, see? And well, the wires are okay, but it just started smoking in the stator. It's not supposed to do that. When I connected the stator wire, the red one with the diode, onto this red wire here, there was like a spark. But that should be right, you know, because this red wire should be from the battery. But then if it sparks, it means it's grounded. It should be grounded from the stator to the engine block, right? So I didn't think nothing of it, so I kept it connected, right? So I felt and looked and I connected it, and it was fine. The batteries, the wires were not hot or getting hot, or nothing was smoking, so I thought that was fine because it's supposed to go to the battery. Yeah, but when I touched it, it was sparking, you know. So then all of a sudden it just started smoking, you know, when I touched that bolt. I guess that bolt is, you know, for the engine block. I mean, I don't get it, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I just removed the... you needed this Torx thing because it doesn't give you any room, you guys know, right? Try to get this right one off, gears in the way. So you can't put a socket in there, you've got to use a Torx. Like right now, I can smell electrical smell, you know? So I'm thinking the stator's toast. So I think the starter's toast, and I think the stator's toast. You know, we're gonna test the starter right now, okay? I'm gonna ground this, right? And watch. This doesn't spin. It's supposed to spin. It's toast. This starter is Dunsky. So now I gotta, I don't know, I think I should take the flywheel off and check the condition of the stator. And if it's bad, which I think it is, I'm gonna have to use the starter and the stator from the original engine. Scott Keller, that's a lousy deal you gave me. This thing doesn't work. I got problems with this engine, man. This engine's a piece of junk. There, so there's the stator off the original. All right, we're gonna test it. Negative to this thing. If you touch it, it should spin. There we go. So this starter works. And you know what? Before I put this on, I'm gonna take the flywheel off. Gotta check that stator because I still smell electrical smell coming out of it. Just took the grass mesh thing off. Always works. Keep that on there. Here's the tricky part. That's why I hate taking off flywheels, because you just never know what the hell's going to happen. You know what I mean? I'm going to do it the Taro way. This time I have this on there. I hope. Feels pretty good. Lift up on it. Can't tell. It's not very good. That's better. There we go. Look at that. See? Removing a flywheel the Taro way always works. The flywheel, keyway. Remember how it goes. Some little things on the bottom touching it down. I'm going to put this somewhere before I lose it. This thing is like a needle in a haystack. Okay, I put it in here, okay? When I'm looking for it later, yell at me and say, it's in there! That stator's Dunsky. Look at that. It's black. That stator is Dunsky. Well, it's a good thing I have an engine with all the parts on it, right? So I had to do the same thing to the old engine. Had to take the flywheel off, shroud, grass thing, blower, the stator off, got the starter off. There's the new stator. It's in excellent condition. I'm not going to connect that until I'm absolutely sure about where I connect that damn thing, you know? Technically, I should just take a wire straight to the battery. That's the safe thing to do, you know? Anyway, so I'm going to put on the stator. Slowly put it on, one click or two. That's it. This thing is not strong enough to strip it if it's more than 1 or 2 clicks. That's it. That's good. I just brushed off the rust off of the magneto, and I checked the magnets on the flywheel. They're all good. Remember, you gotta tuck these 2 wires underneath here, because I have gotten these wires caught on the flywheel before. So it has to go underneath the, that's why it's better if you took the starter off, you know. So I'm gonna install the starter now. I believe this is the good one. Not sure. Can you imagine if I put the broken one back on again? Can you imagine that? There you go. This is the good one. And it just goes in just like that. It's pretty easy. Actually, should I tuck in the wire? It was like that before. Jelly fingers. Where is it? Never have the tools when you need them. You know what? I don't think this is it. I don't think these are the bolts. These don't look like they don't fit right. Where the F is it? This has a little clip on here, see? Where I think you put the wire right there. I'm going to tuck that in there. Hey Henry, move your hand. I can't see. Too effing bad. Want me to finish this damn thing or not? Anyway, you guys get the picture. I'm going to give you a close-up of that so you can see. See that? So you know the wires stay right there. And tighten them up. Put the flywheel back. Alright, well, you know what? I just put that together. New starter, new stator, flywheel back on. Guess I'm just going to try it again, see what happens. No, nothing. Zippo. Got nothing. Honestly. I must have fried something else, fellas. Do a multimeter test on the current. No juice going here. Got no current. No current going over this wire too, which is really odd because I had plenty of current prior, you know? I'm going to go check the battery in the back. So the fuse is behind the battery. Fuse popped. It's a 20. I don't have a 20, I have a 15. I put the 15 in there. Hey, cranks. This is kind of becoming a pain. Not exactly the easiest repowering, is it? But you know what? That's how things goes, guys. What are you gonna do? Right? Getting past the compression stroke. Too much compression. It's probably hydrolock. Just going to keep on doing that. Past the compression stroke. You know what I'm going to do? So we know the battery works. Starter works. Ignition switch works. Solenoid works. But it's getting too much compression, so I'm going to relieve that compression. I bet you there's oil in the piston. I'm going to take the spark plug out and crank it a few times. Yep, that's filled with Earl. This wasn't going to start. Alright, I'm just going to crank it, and you guys tell me if you see anything shoot out. You know what? I'm going to blast it all over my car, if there's anything. Do that. And see if any Earl comes out of it. Tons of Earl. Splashes. See? Good thing I covered that up. Huh. Hopefully that cleared out some stuff. And clean this spark plug. Alright, I just put the spark plug back in. Let's give it another try. See if this damn thing's going to start, man. Yeah, okay. Got something there. that, man? That sound was one of the keepers, the guides touching the thing. So as you guys see, man, that thing starts. And it was tons of oil in there, so I gotta tell you, you know, all that troubleshooting, man, to get it running again, is pretty good. This video was basically a lesson in everything, you know. I mean, I pretty much did everything in there, but the exception of maybe putting on the magneto and gapping it, you know. But man, how about that? Runs pretty good. I might have to tighten that pulley down there and so I'm gonna fine-tune the carburetor a little bit. I'm going to lift it up and tighten that double pulley down there. Put the hood back on, but basically, got this thing running. So I think what happened before when I fried the stator was that I had the battery charger on and it was charging. So it was overcharging, you know what I mean? I'm thinking that's probably it. I'm not 100% sure. But either way though, I'm going to, I just tested the stator. It's giving out like 15 volts. That's kind of a lot, isn't it? I'm a little worried about that. But unless it, you know, once it goes through and stuff and it charges the battery, it's normal at 13 or so. I'm afraid to connect that wire again, that's why. But anyway, man, we got this engine running, and you know, maybe that carburetor needs to be cleaned a little bit and adjusted. You know, that fuel mixture screw just broke off, so I can't adjust the fuel mixture. So I might end up using the other carburetor, maybe. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do. But this was a long video, man. Repowering this thing with the Scott Keller engine. We did have to take off the starter and use the starter and the stator from the old engine. You gotta do what you gotta do though, you know. But it's on there, and it's running, and I'm gonna button it up in the next few episodes. But a lot of work today. You know, it really wasn't that hard. It was just a lot of steps because we had to change the starter and the throttle plate, the stator. I had to remove 2 flywheels. I had to remove 2 starters. I had to remove 2 carburetors and 2 throttle plates, right? I still got to give this thing an oil change. Remember, the oil is terrible, horrible. And I got to jack this baby up and tighten that double pulley down there and see what I'm going to do about that carburetor. And maybe my next episode we'll find out after the oil change and fix all that stuff, whether it mows and moves. Mowing and moving is very important too. So anyway, thanks for following me along this long episode. See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers. So I connected it. It's charging a lot, man. Isn't that a lot? Charging, it's not smoking, battery charger is on. Put this tire back on the beam. See if it moves. Try the PTO. That's awesome. All right. Cool beans, man. So far, so good. I think it's earlier, it was because I had the battery charger on, and so it fried it when I connected it, you know. But why would it not do it now? Like if I charge it now? I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know why that other stator fried. I mean, look, it's off now, right? There's no smoke. There's no smoke. It's not hot or warm or anything. So I mean, look, see the red wire with the diode, right? Goes to the red wire. Well, look, you know that it charges the battery. The battery was like 14 volts, you know, almost 15 volts. It's a lot of voltage. You guys put in the comments if you guys know what the issue might be. But I mean, look, it's fine now, but you know, it was a little disconcerting earlier. You know, I just didn't get it, you know. So I think I might, you know, clean that carb and put that original carb back on here, because if you can see right there, the screw broke, so I can't adjust the you guys know what I'm talking about, the fuel mixture. Anyway, so that was bonus footage. I got this thing running, moving, mowing, and all that. It's running. Success, success. I tell you, success. All right, see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers. Hey guys, support my channel. Buy a sticker. Got the bumper sticker too. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers. Follow my Instagram at Mowers Blowers. Check out my website at mowersblowers.com.